You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Culture Podcast.
It's the KKP on your mother flipping airways. Hear the name ringing through the halls and the stairways. You were listening to a pod that can segue. All the latest topics guaranteed to fill your headspace. It's a safe place to voice your opinion. Say what you feel just like you're a kid again. Kid to pro and friends black as obsidian. Chaotic culture, that's the world we living in. So what's the word?
All right. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast, the pod where chaos rules and black culture is supreme. The Chaotic Culture Podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/chaotic culture pod. Please be sure that you subscribe to the Patreon to get bonus episodes, content, and of course, to help keep the lights on. You can subscribe for as low as $2 a day today. Once again, we appreciate your support. This podcast will deep dive into modern black culture and how millennials and Gen Z and Gen Alpha can navigate the crazy parts from finances, black business highlights, black professionals, community content creators, home ownership, HBCUs, sports, black nerdom, anime, wrestling, and especially black music. If it encompasses black culture, we're going to cover it. Live from the 410, I am the host and the creator of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. This is your boy, Ked the Pro, aka the Calculator Millennial, aka the Encore Presentation. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Aka your favorite toxic adjacent king, Ked the Poet, Ked the Closer, all that good stuff. 843 is me. Baltimore's the place to be. Always chaotic, never toxic most days. And back again, once again, with your favorite black culture highlights and black culture shenanigans. And of course, with me today is the one and only Scuba Steve, out and about doing whatever he's doing right now. But of course, y'all already know what time it is. Steve, please go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, what's going on? It is I, Scuba Steve from the road, aka the Instant Negator, aka Don't Call Me Gambler because I can never be your X-Man, aka Mr. I Just Want to Be Popular. How y'all doing?
Well, I'm doing all right, man. Question is, first off, before I get into, how everybody's doing, if you're wondering why I got the hat on, ladies and gentlemen, it's because I just went to the Mooncake Festival the other day, held here at Baltimore, and it was really good. The food was really good. I didn't have a lot of food because I got full really fast, but still good food, good times. Got to see a few people out there, and yeah, I want to participate next year so that way there is more a chance and another opportunity for me to eat more food and of course actually see the performances there, because we were pretty much like chilling and walking and eating food the whole time, so we really didn't get a chance to see any of the actual acts or performances that were going on. But it was still dope to go to the Mooncake Festival, so that's kind of why I'm wearing the hat. You already know what time it is. But anyway, Scuba Steve, how you been holding up, bro?
Man, I've been good, bro. I just been working, still working, as y'all can see here. But other than that, I've been chilling. My whole main thing is just pushing weight to dead. That's what I've been doing right now. That's been my main focus. Doing ItMob stuff, and other than that, bro, I've just been chilling.
For sure, man. For sure. And for those who actually do pay attention to ItMob, if you're wondering why I've been absent for the last few episodes, it's just because my job changed up my schedule. So now it's kind of like I don't get an opportunity to record because unfortunately I have to be in the building by, super early in the morning before the crack of dawn. So that's kind of why I haven't been present, but y'all already know what time it is. Whenever I get the opportunity to get back, I'm hoping it'll be sometime sooner rather than later. But again, job can't help whatever schedule they put me on. So there's that.
Hey, it is what it is. It's all love.
Yeah, for sure. Though sometimes I do want to rant about my schedule and whatnot, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. For me, as far as my mental health, I've been pretty good. I can't complain. Outside of work and doing this and whatnot, that's really what it's been boiling down to. I will say thank you all for the 1K views that we got on TikTok here. This is actually we really just started this TikTok like a couple weeks ago. I've been dreading it for the last 4 or 5 years, but I finally broke down and said, we got to get one. And yeah, y'all really showed a lot of love on the Fuck Marry Kill video. So I hate that it had to be that video, but you know what? It is what it is. Also, the video that I had where I'm discussing Absol, kind of not performing his best on Not stream, that also got a ton of views as well on YouTube and on TikTok. So there's that. And also there was another viral moment that happened this past Sunday as well. But the moment where the Colts receiver, of course, fumbled at the goal line and turned into a touchback, that also got like almost 2K views on YouTube. So definitely we appreciate y'all for showing us love and whatnot. More clips will be coming, obviously, because we've got more time to make clips and whatnot in certain spots. But yeah, definitely more clips coming. So speaking of TikTok, bro, okay, I gotta preface this real quick. Why is it that? How did my dad get a super viral TikTok?
Mr. Chaotic Coach.
And all right, y'all, I'm gonna show this, but yeah, just to preface this, listen, my dad was minding his business, sort of. He was at South Carolina State's homecoming, and apparently he got caught in 4K. I'm just gonna share the video with y'all so y'all can see, because this is kind of hilarious. Let me go ahead and pull this up. Let y'all see this. This man was, and I play it again. This literally the caption says, "Unc, just like me. You just don't know the AKAs will do you dirty now." It's kind of a shot at the AKAs, but damn, bro, like this thing got 2,000, almost 3,000 likes, and I'm just sitting here like, bro, my dad got more likes on a random video than we did on ours. That is insane, man.
Dad done got caught with his eyes wide open.
literally. And a lot of the comments like, oh, he's admiring the AKAs, and one of the comments is like, run, don't fall for the AKA trap. And I'm just kind of like, it's a little too late for that, guys. He was married to one. So
thank you, guys. You need a time machine. That's what you need.
Right. It's like, if you want to stop him, you have to go back in time to the 70s to stop him from doing that. But nope. That's how I got here. That's how my brother got here, from a K. So because of my dad's love for the AKA. So
yeah.
I had to show
divine
that.
intervention.
Indeed. But anyway, I just wanted to show that because I thought that was hilarious, and that is crazy. I'm probably gonna turn that into a clip myself. Like, bro, how did my old man, my own pops, ended up becoming an interesting TikTok video? So it's crazy. And shout out to my cousin Jasmine, because she was the one who actually recognized it first, and she was like, "Hey, is this your dad?" And when I looked, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's nobody but my dad." Like, I recognize him from 1,000 feet away. Like, yeah, that's him. Craziness. But anyway, speaking of viral TikTok videos, I don't know if yours went viral, but I did see the one where you, I forgot what song that was, where you was like raising your hand and then you ended up raising both. Uh-oh, Steve, you there? He might have got a phone call. But anyway, Steve also has a little bit of a video as well. I just wanted to show. Yep, he got a phone call and it messed up my sound. Now he can't hear. Okay. With that, Steve, let us let's see if we can get you back in here soon. Hold on. Let me pause it real quick. So pretty much what I was saying, Steve, before the phone call kind of interrupted us, was that didn't you have you had a funny TikTok video that you just posted where I can't remember the name of the song, but you were like you were raising one hand and then you ended up raising both.
Oh yeah. So there's like this trend, and it's like I guess it's the YN's been tripping lately, is what they said. But it's a show of hands who really getting money. So you raise your hand, and then they say, now raise the other one. give it to me.
To me.
So you got to be like, oh shit. So that's been like a trend or whatever. And then of course I had the video where Skylar said I look like Jesus.
Oh, she compared you to the painting of Black Jesus with the locks.
Yeah,
that
she
is
was,
insane,
said,
bro.
look
Like
somebody, and I was like, oh, that's crazy.
how did she even come to that conclusion? Like, what made her think of that?
I was like, man, you haven't even seen this painting. Like, you're too young for it.
Yeah, clearly. Hey, somebody must have shown her. That's all I can say. I don't know who.
Yeah, I mean, my mom used to have the painting, but I'm pretty sure she got rid of that painting before Skylar was born. So I don't know how she saw it. It's always Skylar. It's never anytime these videos are posted and I say my kid, it's never any of the other ones. It's always Skylar.
It's always Skylar.
So y'all know it's always Skylar.
Hey man, that's your I was gonna say your evil twin, but that's your twin for real. So
she is the evil twin. You don't have to sugarcoat it. She's the evil twin.
Yeah, she's very, very. And if Skylar was old enough, I'd be like, yeah, she could be a host on this podcast because she is very chaotic.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I will hold that deal. And Skylar, when you turn 18, if you want to join, you know the invitation is open for you, but only when you turn 18.
Yeah, she's wild, man. She's wild.
For sure. All right, we got to talk about one of the things that were very, very interesting that I saw this past couple of weeks. And I don't want to go into like too much detail about it, but it's only right that we like recognize what happened. And obviously it was the Twitter fight between one Onika Tanya Mirage Petty and Cardi B. And you know, we talked about this in our first ever like what's beef episode, though it was more so like Nicki versus Meg. But now we just have to revisit Nicki versus everybody because it just seems like she got an issue with everybody, and people think that people have problems with her. I'm like, no, she is always the common denominator in these beefs, in these feuds, in these rants, and half the shit I don't be understanding why she does this on Twitter. It's like, yes, Cardi B's album did well. Maybe Cardi said something along the lines of she was trying to beat Nicki's sales, and if that's the case, okay, whatever, fine. But it just got so nasty and it just got so crazy. I'm like, yo, why are y'all not putting this on wax? If y'all gonna go like this, like, why are y'all not just like throwing out beef songs at the moment? Because all this arguing and all this yapping on and rah-rah on Twitter, y'all could easily like just go to the booth and just say some shit. Like, if Nicki really wanted to, she could go to the booth and like
get in the booth.
Like, get in the booth. Damn. But
it's stupid.
Right. And I'm just so perplexed at why she does this all the time. It just seems like every time she wants attention about something, she just goes off on different people. Apparently, I mean, she's got this one-sided beef with Jay-Z. She's been beefing with Lotto. She's been beefing with Meg. She beefs with Cardi. She's been literally beefing with SZA, and we're all still questioning why the hell are you beefing with SZA? She beefs with everybody, and it's just like, yo. And then I guess Cardi was just like, yo, I had enough of this, and so she was literally tired of all the slick talk and her talking about her pregnancy. So Cardi was like, all right, well, we're gonna start talking about the company that you keep and whatnot. And then Nicki went lower and then started attacking her children. And this is like, okay, now this is getting ridiculous. So of course Cardi B shot back towards her son, and it's like, all right, look, for me, Cardi is she in the right? No, they're both wrong. But I definitely get and understand why Cardi went off the way that she did, because it's like, you came at me first and then you attacked my children. You know, like at that point, I get you seeing red at this point. All bets are off. Like literally, Cardi was looking for this girl outside. Like, yo, where are you at? I will pull up. Like, we could throw hands right now, pregnant or not. And I'm like, oh, you got to chill, Cardi. You have got to chill. Like, stop letting this girl egg you on. But it's just crazy to me that someone who is as old as Nicki is, she's literally 42, about to be 43, acting like this on social media, and I don't understand why. it's like you don't need to do this. Like your position in hip hop has been cemented. You are literally considered, if not the greatest female hip hop artist of all time, at least one of the greatest female hip hop artists of all time, and one of the best. I don't understand the motive of attacking someone who would be considered lower than you on the totem pole. I just don't get
Tarnishing
it.
her own legacy too.
Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
why? For what purpose does it serve? And the fact
Mhm.
that you had all these fans and all the barbs who gaslight other people, but the fact that you allow them to engage in this kind of behavior, it just really feels like, yo, are we grown adults or are we children? Because clearly y'all on some other shit, man. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. And that's kind of why I'm just like, y'all know how I feel about the Barbs. Y'all know how I feel about Nicki. This just doesn't make any sense to me. And yes, Cardi B was equally wrong and for the way that she attacked her son, because if her son is nonverbal, that is kind of crazy to make those kind of suggestions on the net like that. At the same time, it's like, well, if Nicki would have just left her alone and did her thing and just promote whatever album that she's got coming out on the 27th, then we wouldn't even be having these discussions. It's literally giving us something to talk about, and it's creating more promo for Cardi B's album, by the way. The album is literally called Am I the Drama? And now we're seeing like, okay, well, it's a lot of drama going on. And that's another topic that I want to touch on real quick. But I just wanted to see or hear if Steve had any other things to say about this.
I mean, personally, me, I'm with Cardi B on it in the sense, like, yeah, it's not cool making fun of somebody that's nonverbal, but at the same time, if you take the bar low, she gonna take it to hell. And that
Exactly.
just literally seemed like that's what she decided to do. And I mean, Nicki Minaj keep messing with people, and finally, you know what I'm saying? Somebody just was like, you chose the right one with Cardi B because she just gonna be petty. She don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like she just don't
Exactly.
care. So it just is what it is, honestly. I like I said, if somebody was to come at me on some shit, if I feel annoyed by it, I probably would take the bar low. I don't know if I would take it that low, but I mean, you can't choose how people gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? Like how low
Exactly.
somebody gonna take it. So it is what it is.
I think I've said that on multiple episodes before. You can't choose how somebody responds to you.
Yep.
So
And Nikki just been like this, picking fights with people and all this other stuff, like Dez Bryant and all these other people. So that's just what she been on. So it is what it is. And like Cardi B done said it, like she was all like, bro, we done talking though. She was like, when we see each other, it's up. And Nikki, I think Nikki like be making these jokes and stuff like that, like she not scared and other stuff. I don't believe Nikki is scared, quote unquote, but I don't think she really believed that Cardi B is saying it's on site. I don't think she think that it's really on site. I think she think, oh, you got too much to lose. And I'm here to tell you, I think Cardi B is gonna be for real about it being on site.
yeah, because like, didn't Cardi try to throw a shoe at her at one point? So if she tried to do that,
Yeah.
what
And it
makes
hit
you
her in
think
the
that
head
she
or something.
wouldn't like actually try to see you when if y'all two ever like came face to face again? I'm willing to bet the next time there's a Met Gala and Cardi is no longer pregnant, that she gonna be like, let me find her real quick. And listen, people and as you said, like, I guess Nikki thinks that Cardi may have too much to lose, but based on Cardi's reaction, it sounds like she don't care.
I
She'll
don't think
find a
she
way
care
to I
to
guess
get it back.
maintain.
I think she feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like I mean, the thing that she kind of came up off of is loving hip hop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Her
Exactly.
doing shit like that is, part of her persona.
Mm-hmm.
Like, niggas know what you're getting when you get that. So I don't think she give a fuck. I mean, she literally just made fun of some kid that was nonverbal autistic
Right.
publicly. So she clearly don't give a fuck.
Clearly.
like,
Clearly.
she clearly don't give a fuck about endorsements and shit like that. She done sued enough people, you know what I'm saying? Where she done got enough money off of that to cover some endorsement deals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
I I don't know either, man. I don't know either. And I still, just for the life of me, I just still can't figure out why like Nicki does these things. But again, this is who she is. And I've said it multiple times that Nicki Minaj is a great rapper, but a terrible person. So the fact that she would try to turn it back on Cardi and then, try to claim the name of Jesus, that really bothered me even more because it's just like you were so disgusting to her in these comments and her kids, and now you're trying to say that she's the evil one, and then you're trying to invoke Jesus' name doing this. My
Like
dis-
it was crazy. She called Cardi's kid monkeys and
roaches.
roaches, but then turned around and she said, "This is the last time a black woman will ever speak on somebody's kids calling them a monkey." And I was all like, "Wait," and she was like, "Cancel Cardi B," and I was like, "Wait, so are you trying to make it seem like Cardi B is the one that's called them a monkey?"
So yeah, apparently Cardi had called somebody else's kid like a long time ago a monkey and whatnot. I don't know. I guess it was some random person. I'm not exactly sure. Um, and I'm just like, but does that justify you calling her kids the same thing? Like two wrongs don't make a right, and y'all are all the way far left at this point. It don't make no sense. Like, why would you engage in that kind of behavior just because she did it a super long time ago?
Yeah, I don't know, but and the thing is, she's sitting there saying she want her counsel for doing it, but you just did it too. So do you want yourself counseled, or you
Exactly.
just want you to be on the clear, just her to be counseled?
Hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think only person that could go to stop this now is Kanye. Her and Kanye need to go back and forth.
Dog, Twitter would be in an absolute meltdown
Sheriff,
if that happened, bro.
I need her and Kanye to go back and forth for a couple hours. That'd be hilarious.
It's absolutely like nuclear. That
Because they're
I'd be
not gonna
like,
talk about anything relevant.
"N-
They just gonna be talking.
exactly. Like they not gonna be saying shit for real, for real. They just gonna be saying shit, but not really saying shit.
Yeah.
Is
I,
that would be hilarious. Like, okay, this is the final battle. This is the one that we've all been waiting for. Kanye versus Nicki. Like, who will win? Who will come out victorious? Find out on the next
somebody
episode of Dragon Ball Z.
we need somebody to fucking that's popular on Twitter to go viral and post that. All right,
N-
next round we got Kanye versus Nicki.
That would be
But
hilarious.
I think I don't even think it's drugs no more, honestly and truthfully. I think I think Nicki might be bipolar and stuff too. I think she might be.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised like if she has some sort of disorder that she actually has not gotten help from, or if it's some sort of personalized trauma that she hasn't healed from. And I don't want to like say that, the same thing that Cardi was saying, because Cardi was saying the same thing. It's like, yo, you need therapy, like you need to get help
Hmm.
and whatnot. So maybe that is the case. Maybe there is some unresolved trauma that is going in Nicki's life that she has not come to terms with. Maybe it is some sort of mental illness that she suffers from that she hasn't got diagnosed with. I'm not I'm not a doctor. I wouldn't know. I'm not a therapist or a psychologist. I wouldn't know. But just from the way that she's been acting, a lot of folks are like, yeah, yeah, at this point, it's got to be more than just the drugs. I think the drugs have helped, but it's got to be more than that. Cause yeah, this was quite a lot to deal with and quite a lot to read and get through. And the biggest thing that really irritated me is that Nicki also goes back and deletes some of those tweets to act like Cardi was the aggressor, and it's like, yo, you gotta be kidding me, yo. You're not about to sit here and gaslight us into thinking that Cardi was the one that started this whole thing when you were the one who came at her first throughout this whole entire exchange.
Just randomly, just I don't know, bro. Like I've so me personally, I've never been like a huge Nicki fan. Like
Hmm.
her being the most popular female rapper of all time and all that stuff, that's whatever. That's facts, you know what I'm saying? You can't negate it. But for
Right.
me, I just never been like a huge Nicki fan. I didn't really care about the the fake personality thing that she was doing in the raps. I didn't like that stuff anyway. And it was like all the stuff in her little interviews kind of was lame to me. Like when she would do stuff like in her in her interviews, I used to kind of think it was lame, but it was cool because she was hot. Now she's not hot as much, you know what I'm saying? So now the same things that she's doing is stuff that she's been doing since back then. You know what I'm saying? Like she's been doing these same things back in 2010, 2011. But because she, selling hit records and stuff like that, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But now it look lame. And I'm like, bro, it's been like that though.
Yeah. And I think everybody owes Lil Kim an apology. And I think Charlamagne the God even apologized on the radio show for the Breakfast Club. He said, yeah, we owe Lil Kim an apology. Lil Kim, I'm sorry because, yeah, she told the truth about Nicki back then. And as we said, people didn't listen to it because Nicki was hot.
Yeah, that's just all it was. I mean, and then like Lil Kim, I can't, like Nicki was all like, y'all can't let somebody new come in and just, you know what I'm saying, not acknowledge that I'm the queen and stuff like that. But they was like, that's the same thing Lil Kim said, and you got mad about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just one of them things where it then came around full circle.
Yeah, except that Nicki is doing it to more people now and to more of the ladies of hip hop. It just seems like no matter what, like the ladies of hip hop, if their name is big enough, she just for whatever reason wants to put a damper on whatever success that they got going on, whether it be Lotto, whether it be Meg, or whether it be Cardi, at least those three. It's like, why not? There's room. I want to say there's room at the top. If you want to be number one, that's fine. But like, these women are trying to be successful and in their own lane, and yet here you go trying to step on that success and try to make them look worse, and it just don't make no sense to me. And then, as I said before, the whole thing about her coming at SZA minding her business talking about retrograde and whatnot, and then she came at her because she thinks that she was talking about her, and SZA was like, "Oh, I'm not on whatever fuck you got going on over there," and Nicki just went on an entire tirade for a whole day about it. It's like, why do you care so much? Why are you going to such extreme lengths to downplay these women, yo? Like, SZA ain't never bothered nobody. These in the rap girls, they just trying to carve their own lane, and here you go trying to be a hater. At one point, from my fandom of Nicki, I've always liked at least some of her raps. I wasn't gonna be per se like the biggest Nicki fan, but I'd be lying if I said that Pink Friday wasn't, a great album for me. I listened to it. I thoroughly enjoyed Pink Friday. I liked the Pink print. Queen was okay, and because I'm a hip hop, listener, I've listened to all her albums. Of course, Roman Reloaded was trash. Because that was really like a re-release of a re-release of a re-release. Let's not get into that. And then Pink Friday 2 was not really all that, but because Nicki's name is too big to fail, obviously it was going to do the numbers. But it still, to me, was just kind of like, nah, I'm really not feeling this. So it just, I don't know. Maybe eventually she'll get the help that she needs. But as of right now, I'm just like, nah, all that, whatever you got going on over there, you need to keep that over there. Like, leave the rap girls alone, leave the girls alone. Just stay in your lane and stop gaslighting these folk to attack you, and then stop trying to instigate something that's not really there, and then letting your fans have free reign to do whatever the fuck they doing. Like, it's just nastiness overall. And
it's crazy because like a lot of the female rappers are having a lot of unity. Like, we're coming together, doing fun stuff, doing videos together, songs together, and stuff like that. And there's one common denominator. You know what I'm saying? That's like beefing with everybody.
Exactly. Like, literally, y'all could be on a track together or in videos or even doing something together, all having a good time. And even if that's not your stilo anymore, because you are a little older, you could still, just be pleasant. If you were just pleasant around them and whatnot, people was, and they still recognize you as the best. They will still recognize you as the best. But
They're not
instead,
even stealing your thunder. That's what I don't even understand.
exactly. They're not trying to steal your fans. They're not trying to take your position. Well, they might be, because I mean, hip hop is competitive, but it's like they really not trying to steal your thunder. They're not trying to steal whatever accolades that you do have. It's just you are so inundated with trying to be nasty towards them, and it just doesn't make any sense. I don't get it. That is a bitter individual. That's all I can say, is that whatever she got going on she is very bitter. And I hope that she gets the healing that she needs. I hope that she gets the help that she needs. Most importantly, I know that she's not going to, but I'd rather her just stay off of social media in general. Just focus on the music. And if you got an issue with somebody, if they really, really did you wrong, instead of you saying, oh, they did me wrong and I got receipts and then failed to produce those receipts, if they really, really did you wrong, put it on wax. Stop putting it on Twitter. Like, put that shit on wax.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're afraid, because look, the way Remy Ma did her, and people try to hype up that No Fraud song like that was a great diss track. And I'm like, no, it was not. Stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to yourself.
Those songs suck. Like, that song suck. Bigfoot suck. Like, all those songs suck. And I don't think that she wants to. It's weird because, like, we know that how she is as a rapper. So it's just, she's just not a good diss rapper, not a good battle rapper. And I think she gonna do it to the wrong person, like a Glorilla or something like that, and Glow gonna go in. You know what I'm saying? Glow gonna go in, or she gonna say something about Doichi, and it's gonna be bad.
Nah, listen. If she says something about Doechii, and I'm surprised Doechii ain't come back with a track, but she's definitely said stuff about Doechii in her little rant against TDE. I'm just like, look, if Doechii decide to put something on wax towards you, I don't think you're not gonna win that back and forth. I'm gonna just be clear. Like, look, Nikki, you are, from your accolades of the past, for the past 15 years, you've been at the top. But as far as like lyrically, Doechii is better, and that might be a hot take, but I've listened to enough Doechii to make that statement. Doechii is a better lyricist.
Yeah, she don't. If she isn't, like, it doesn't change the fact that you ain't proved that you could do this in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, it is what it is.
For sure. I definitely want to get off this, because every time I think about it, I'm just like, this it's gonna give me a headache. But anyway, one thing that I do want to end off on is, like, I really just wish that people would stop with these parasocial relationships with these celebrities who don't know them from a can of paint. Listen, I've said this multiple episodes, and I'll keep saying it again and keep regurgitating it again until it gets through everybody's head. Look, I could be the biggest Kendrick fan in the world, but in no way, shape, or form am I going to dedicate my life to this man on social media and try to be like a stan. I just can't do it. Like, listen, I will admit, I will go to his concerts. I will buy his merch. I will try to hype him up as the greatest MC of this generation. But you will not catch me online trying to defend him, trying to speak for him, try to, do all of these tweets for him. I don't understand the idea of these parasocial relationships, and social media has really, really opened up the floodgates for these people or bots to come in and be these stand pages for these celebrities. It's really bad with the OVOs or the OVOs, the OVO fans or the Drake fans. Is really bad for them. It's even worse for the Barbs. I thought that it was really bad once upon a time for the Rihanna's Navy, but they kind of usually just mind their business. And the same thing with Beyonce fans. Most of the time, the Beehive, they will not attack unless it's like something crazy that you said about Beyonce. You can like not like her music and they'd be like, all right, fine, whatever. You might be able to, say something, about the whole thing with Jay-Z, and you're just like, okay, cool. But like the moment you like start attacking her character and all this other shit, then that's when they come out. But typically Beehive has been chill for quite some time. So I'm like, I never thought that it would get worse than that. And then I experienced the Barbs, and this is like, oh nah, this is the kind of parasocial relationship I hope never finds me if I ever become famous, because I know that is craziness, and that is
I'm surprised.
absolutely craziness. And the fact that she actually encourages their behavior is even worse. So
I'm
I just
surprised the
wanted.
Beehive didn't go crazy
You
when
said what?
she. I'm surprised the Beehive didn't go crazy on the Barbs. I was excited to see that the Beehive
Oh,
versus the Barbs, and it never happened.
it never happened, man. I kind of thought that it might happen in this go round because of what Cardi B saying. Like, yo, we've seen that you sneak this Beyonce too, who be minding her own business,
Mm-hmm.
and yet Beehive hadn't said anything. So I guess they just like, hey, look,
Yeah.
we know, but we just gonna ignore her,
We
and
gonna
that
wait
might be
until
the best thing
Beyonce
that you
say
can do.
something. We gonna wait till Beyonce say something.
Oh yeah, now Beyonce say something that then the whole world gonna be lit on fire. That will be the day I will be present for Twitter, and I'll just be scrolling and watching the timeline like, okay, well, that's what they asked for. Anyway, I really just wanted to get that out the way. So as we transition, I do want to talk about a few things before we get into the next big topic. Mainly some new watches and some new music, if there is any out there. For me, I have a new album that I plan on listening to. It's actually Mick Jenkins actually dropped, and I haven't listened to the album yet because I've actually been on another listening spree, if that makes any sense. So for those who know, of course, we are bringing back Music Roundtable this year, and we're
Yes,
going to
sir.
do a couple of them. So the first one, obviously, the first one that we plan to do was going to be for Wale, but we're going to postpone that, not cancel it, just postpone it for a later date. In the meantime,
Because his album coming out, right?
You talk about Wale?
Yeah, he got another album coming out, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, that's why I was
Yeah,
like, well, let's
I
just
say we should
postpone
wait
that
till
for a
that.
little bit, and also because something else was popping up sooner than that, and that was the 25th anniversary of Stankonia, which is one of my, if not my favorite Outkast album. And I was
Yes,
like,
sir.
yo, this is a good time for us to just go into Outkast's discography, re-listen to it, and then just let's rank their discography and not do it in the typical way that we normally do for the music roundtable. What we're gonna like list it 1 through 6 and then kind of figure out what the worst is and then what the best is, because the worst might be less controversial, but the best, that can that discussion that needs to be had is going to be really interesting, because when I say that their debut album was great, but then the next 4 is just like, wow. So if y'all have never listened to Outkast, I
Yeah.
highly recommend that you do. But I listen, this is the music that I grew up on. So obviously Outkast is my favorite duo of all time. So we would definitely be doing their music roundtable soon. What's up, Steve?
I said, no, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm excited, like you said. I'm excited to hear it. For me as well, Stankonia is for me number one. But yeah, I think maybe after this listen back again, maybe we'll see. But I think for me, Stankonia is number one for me
Yeah, man.
already. Before we do it.
For sure. Where I'm at right now, I'm actually in the middle of Stankonia. I was like, I'm gonna go all the way back to the beginning. So I went back to the Southern Playlist, the Cadillac Music, and I was able to get through that album. I got through AT Aliens, I got through Aquemini, and now I'm in the middle of Stankonia. So I'm like, I got this, I got Speaker Box, The Love Below, and then of course I got Idlewild. And then I guess that's the beauty of this group, is that they only got 6 albums. It's not like we gotta comb through 30 plus albums like we had to do for when we did the TDE music roundtable, where we had to listen to everything. But yeah, this will be a good discussion, and I can't wait for it. I cannot wait for it. But in the meantime, I'm also gonna check out that Mick Jenkins album whenever I get the opportunity. And there was also some other people that dropped as well, but I've heard that this is not hip hop related, but I heard that Taylor Swift dropped and the reviews are not looking too good. I listen, Taylor as a person, I have no problems with, but just her music making ability, I've been questioning for quite some time since the last few ones. And yeah, apparently it ain't looking too hot, but that's neither here nor there. And I think really that's all that I got as far as new listens, because there's still some more music that I gotta really like check out. I still have to compile my list for the top 25 hip hop albums of 2025. So that episode will be really interesting as well whenever I do it. And I will typically do it at the end of the year. So be sure that you pay attention to that. Um, new watches. I don't think I have any new watches. I know that the final season of My Hero Academia is out, so I did watch the first episode of season 8, and I think that's really it as far as like for my new watches. I've just been continuing my One Piece journey. It's slowed down a little just because I've been trying to catch up with all the other anime and all the other shows that I've been trying to watch, but I'm still in Wano. I am enjoying the journey thus far, and I just can't wait until I get caught up. So hopefully I will be finished with Wano by the end of the year. I think that is a good goal to have. I'm currently on episode like 922. So or I might be a little further than that. I might be at 925. But either way, I'm still aiming for be finished with Wano by the end of the year. So that is my goal. That's my goal. Steve, you back yet?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm
Okay.
taking pictures of the car. My bad.
Oh,
But
no,
no,
you good.
for me, shows that I'm watching, Peacemaker has been fire. Peacemaker has been fire. Freaking Gen V, of course, has been amazing. And what else? I've been watching other stuff. I finished Big Brother. I watching Fire Force Gachi Achita.
Oh, got you,
I don't
Akta.
know. Gachi. Yeah, Gachi Coochie. What else? I've been watching. What else did I watch? Oh, I watched season 3 of Alice in Borderlands.
Ooh, how was that?
It is great. Alice in Borderlands has been pretty fire. Like, if you have not started Alice in Borderlands, get on that journey. That first season is amazing. It's, to me, I think that the reason why it might be better than Squid Games is because Squid Games is based off of childhood games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, after a while, it's like, okay, it's whatever. But these are actual creative ass games, like for adult that, you know what I'm saying, that they made on their own. And these games are crazy on there. Like Alice in Borderland is nuts. Especially this season with the freaking gas mask game on the train. That shit was nuts. Like, I really enjoyed Alice in Borderland. Then it made me remember that I hadn't watched Sweet Home, the last season that came out. So I went on and started binging Sweet Home as well. Yeah, but yeah, if y'all need to, man, Alice in Borderland, get on that shit. That shit is fire. And I think this time it finally came to an end. Because I think everybody thought season 2 was the end, but this last season, I think this was the final season.
Bet. I will definitely be tapping into Alice in Borderland season 3. And that just reminded me for Netflix, my show Ranma 1/2 came back. I have not tapped into the latest episode yet, but that is back for another season. That is still an hilarious show. And I just watched the latest episode of Gachiakta, and when I say that shit like had me like, whoa, okay, this is some crazy ass shit. Shout out to Amo. I thought Amo was a little annoying when I first met her, but seeing this latest episode, that shit broke my heart with all the shit that she went through. So yeah, that is craziness. Absolute craziness. If you have not seen that last episode of season 1, I'd highly recommend that you do. It is just trigger warning for those of you who are survivors. Yeah. What you think happens, yeah. So just a fair warning, but it is still such a good episode. And with that, I think we could go ahead and move on to the last bit of news that we have. And we had obviously heard about this case earlier in the year, and the fact is that this man, of course, was so distraught that he ended up losing his life over it. If you're wondering who we're talking about, we're talking, of course, about KYREN LACY and the situation behind the crash that he was charged for, and of course, him taking his own life soon after. And it's really disgusting because then we're hearing from his lawyer that, of course, he did not cause the crash. And then we see the video evidence of his car being almost 100 yards back from the point of impact from the crash. And then we see like this 5-minute video of the cops coercing one of the witnesses to give a false statement saying that KYREN was the one who caused the crash, when the actual witness was saying that it was another woman who caused the point of impact. And it's just really, really so concerning that we are seeing corruption in real time. You know, we talk about the corruption of the government all the time and whatnot. We see what the current administration is doing, and we already know how we feel. But it goes further than that, like on a state level, and you see why people have such feelings towards law enforcement and cops. Is because of shit like this. And so what I'm just going to do is I'm going to read a news article, an update, if you will, on this whole entire situation. And I'm going to share it so in the event that you may or may not be able to read it, but if you are, great. But either way, it says here, groups are calling for an investigation into law enforcement's handling of a case involving former LSU football star KYREN LACY, who died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound in April after he was charged with negligent homicide. Louisiana State Police charged LACY, 24, in January after a crash in Lafourche Parish resulted in the death of Herman Hall, 78. The NFL draft hopeful was accused of reckless driving and speeding. Despite denying he was at fault, LACY had turned himself in after an arrest warrant was issued. His attorney, Matthew Ory, maintained that LACY did not cause the crash in a February statement. Months after LACY's death, Ory gave an October update in a television interview with HTV, citing an investigative report. At the time of impact, he's 72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles. That is not how the story was ever painted. Never, said Ory in an interview. In an October 4th statement, state police said findings during an investigation showed that LACY's reckless driving led to the crash, adding no one disputes that he was behind the crash scene. Attorney General Liz Murrill released the following statement Monday. I've been in touch with the Louisiana State Police about independently reviewing all the witness statements and evidence in this case. LSU's Brian Kelly on KYREN LACY's case. LSU football head coach Brian Kelly touched on the case during a Monday press conference. He said he's following the latest updates like others and asked for patience as more information is revealed. He's loved by us, was loved before, and is loved after, so there's not really a need to talk to our team. They follow it. They loved KYREN. He was a great teammate, and he's going to be missed, Kelly said. After LACY's death, Kelly described the former Tiger as a bright star who used great emotion to play football. The Louisiana Democratic Party said an independent investigation is needed and announced lawmakers' plan to induce the LACY law. The legislation would aim to prevent false reporting by law enforcement officers and impose strict penalties for those found to be in violation. The recent wrongful accusations made against former LSU football player KYREN LACY are deeply troubling and represent yet another painful example of how false reporting and reckless actions by certain members of law enforcement can destroy lives and damage public trust, the part wrote in the statement. Civil rights group Proposed for People calls for a full criminal and federal investigation into the officer. I have seen too many young black lives destroyed by lies and deception. This young man's life was taken once by tragedy and again by the lies used to cover it up. When an officer fabricates a story and manipulates witnesses, it is not a mistake. It is a crime against truth and against the people they swore to protect. Selena Charles, founder of Purpose for the People. The group plans a peaceful protest in Thibodaux later this month. The protest is scheduled for noon to 2 p.m. Saturday, October 25th, at Martin Luther King Park, 900 Let It Drive. And Steve just said his phone was overheating, so he will be right back. But as I've said before, ladies and gentlemen, this is one of those examples that of why people feel the way that they feel about law enforcement, especially when it comes to black men, because with situations like this, it just makes it all the more harrowing because we tell you that, the cops are doing this, and then all we get is they should have complied, he should have complied, we should have complied. This young man's life was ruined by a false witness statement and manipulation of a witness statement. The fact that the NFL, unfortunately, they rescinded his combine invite, and at this point, it didn't look like he was going to get drafted because they had just assumed he was guilty until proven innocent, without all of the facts, without all of the evidence, without even the trial even starting. They just decided it wasn't worth it. Meanwhile, this man is fighting for his livelihood, fighting for his family, trying to make a better life for himself and his family. And yet, the lies of the police, the lies of the fabricated witness statement, the fact that the law enforcement, and of course just the whole thing is just incredibly sad. And again, like, wrongfully accusing him of this act of violence. Well, of course, when he was literally behind the accident itself, and from the camera view that we looked at, it doesn't even look like he was even near the point of impact, and he was a good bit away. It just makes it even more tragic because this man ended up taking his life in April just because of all of the toxicity going on the internet, social media dogging on him, the fact that they were trying to paint him as guilty, even though all the evidence hadn't come out. Just a lot of things went wrong with this situation. And all we can do is that, for me, I'm hoping that the LACY family gets the justice that they deserve. Like, we need to have this independent federal investigation. We need to find out what really happened. We need to get all the evidence. And if it turns out that that the cop was indeed fabricating a false witness statement just to paint him as guilty, or to have a charge against him, then we need to take action, and something just needs to be done. Steve, I see that you're back.
Yeah, man. I feel that way as well. Like, for me, it's just one of them things that is just really unfortunate that somebody lost their life due to, like, people just being corrupt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just really all it comes down to. They was being corrupt. I don't even understand why. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's just, I mean, obviously we know why he's a black man, but it's just like, what's the reason for it? It's just, you just gonna make it seem like he caused the accident just because, and you ruined his career and stuff like that, and ultimately, you know what I'm saying, his life. He lost his life. You know what I'm saying? So it's just unfair, and like you said, we need justice for that. Like, somebody needs to be held accountable. Like, somebody.
Exactly.
And it can't be a situation where they get suspended without pay, they get swept under the rug for 6 months, and then they working in a whole nother department. You know what I'm saying? Scot free. Like, no, something needs to be happening. You got to be held accountable. Point blank, period.
For sure. I'm like, if all of this if we find out that, like, all of this is true, because I have to say allegedly, obviously, because it's an ongoing case and ongoing investigation. But if it's found that there's corruption within the police department, and that they really truly spun this narrative that he was the one who did it when he clearly was not the one who caused this, then yeah, I'm definitely like, yo, he does not need to work for any other police department. He needs to be fired. And it just is point blank, period. Like, he doesn't need to have any job within law enforcement after this. Do I know that's how the system works? Unfortunately, we know that it does not. We know that if anything, especially within Louisiana, the most we might get is a suspension, but I'm hoping it's more than that. And I'm hoping that they're really holding his feet to the fire, and I'm hoping they're holding the whole police department's feet to the fire because of this. Like, if this is what you do for one black man, maybe we need to investigate all these other cases that y'all have. So I'm hoping that it gets deeper and that we're rooting out the corruption, because again, situations like this is why we as black folk are hesitant to trust the police whenever we are in situations like these. And the fact that this man, this young, bright future NFL player, was framed for something that he did not do, and ultimately lost his life because of the toxicity behind it, it really boggles my mind. And I'm like, Steve, I'm just like, yo, what was the point in this? Like, that man could have literally had a blossoming career, could have been feeding his family, could have been doing a whole lot of things. He could have been enjoying his life, and instead, unfortunately, he's no longer here. And now we're left with more questions about this entire case, like what really happened and what is going on and why was he framed, and why couldn't they just accept the witness statement that the other person caused the accident and not him if they saw it with their own eyes? Why do we have to do all this rigmarole into trying to frame KYREN LACY for a crime that he did not do? Ultimately, like, we're trying to figure that out, but sad story, man. Very, very sad.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It keeps happening over and over and over, and it's like, bro, like, they just gotta, if they can just you know what I'm saying, do something about that, it will stop it from happening ultimately all the time. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that people getting by and it's getting swept under the rug so often, it's like they get to keep getting away with it, and they're gonna keep trying to get away with it.
Right.
So you got to make an example out of somebody.
Yeah, man. It's again just incredibly sad, and I don't know how to react to this. Like, obviously I'm angry and upset. I was angry and upset that he lost his life the way that he did anyway, but I'm just even more upset with this whole entire situation, because this is like he lost his life for nothing. Like, y'all really, really tried to ruin his life in the court system and in social media, and it just really boggles the mind.
Yeah.
But as we said, man, I definitely hope that KYREN LACY's family gets the justice that they need and that they deserve. I'm really hoping that, if anything, I hope they file some civil lawsuits. And granted, no amount of money can bring back, their family member, but at least, that you got some kind of justice for his framing and whatnot. And I definitely hope that they're able to get some or find some kind of peace. I am hoping that they are able to root out the corruption, though. As far as that is concerned, I am not 100% sure. I'm not 100% hopeful in that, because I know, as Steve said, if certain police forces try to, do it once, they'll try to do it before, and they'll keep doing it again as long as they can get away with it. And I'm just like, we have to find ways to stop corruption within our law enforcement and within our government in general. I've been fairly quiet on how the government has been acting these last few episodes, because y'all know I have no problems talking about our fuck ass government. But I've just been holding off because I feel as though when talking about Black culture, I wanted to talk about more things that uplift us and more things that will allow us to be successful and allow us to bring us joy throughout our lives and our daily lives. And yet, unfortunately, being Black and a part of the Black experience is fighting these powers that continuously try to keep us down and try to keep us I didn't want to use the word segregated, but mainly it tries to pretty much hold Black people down. And right now my mind is running a mile a minute, because I'm trying to think of like the actual terms and words to say without getting into too much trouble. But ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that we as Black people want to be successful and just want to live our lives, and yet each and every day we are finding that are a group of people who want to impede that progress no matter what, just because they hate us because of this. And if you're wondering why I'm bringing that up, and they say, well, why are you using the race card? Because for us, it's the truth. That's really what it boils down to, is that you hate a certain people because of this, and nothing more. You're willing to cut off your nose to spite your face, and you're willing to suffer if it means that a black or a brown person gets to suffer more. And ultimately, that is what this boils down to. This is why we have this administration in place. And as a cover of, oh, it was about the economy. No, you just want to see black people hurt, or you want to see brown people hurt. And then you also use illegal immigrants, quote unquote, as a way to terrorize people of color. So ultimately, I'm just going to say that I hope that LACY's family finds the justice that they need and that they deserve. And we'll get more to the corruption of this government in another episode, because I could go on for days about that. But at the moment, we're an hour in, and unfortunately, duty calls and people got to work tomorrow. Tomorrow would normally be my day off, but things happen, so I got to go in tomorrow. And unfortunately, I got to cut this episode a little bit short. But anyway, to get off of the bad news, did you have any more comments, Steve, before I move on real quick? Oh, no, I can't hear him. Steve, you might need to drop out and come back again, because I can't hear you at all. But yeah. Anyway, guys, that's all that I really had for this particular episode. I did want to at least say once again, thank you for all the TikTok views. Thank you for and there he is again. But all right. Did you have any last words for that segment, bro?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Anything else new happened before we get up out of here?
No, not that I know of. The 4-year sentence. Other than that, but I don't really care.
Of Sean Combs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't really care too much to give him that light.
Yeah. We've talked about him ad nauseum last year, and granted, yes, it was the most viewed episode that we had, but goodness gracious, I'd rather not talk about that anymore, man. You know what? Am I happy with 4 years? No, but it's like at least he's getting something, I guess. But
Nah, fact.
yeah, I really want more, but I'm like, I understand that certain charges were dropped, so it's like you can only do but so much. Outside of that, Hampton and Norfolk State had the Battle of the Bay this past weekend. I'm sorry to Michael Vick, but I'm glad that Hampton actually won. Both teams were struggling, but Hampton was definitely struggling. So shout out to the Hampton University athletic program and the football team. Shout out to the Pirates. I'm hoping that y'all win more games this year. That's all I can really say, is that I'm hoping and praying that we win more than 2 games this year, because the way that it's looking this season, it don't look good.
Trying to get an inspection.
But anyway, unfortunately, Michael Vick had to take another loss, and it was to us. But I am excited for what Michael Vick has in store for that program. Don't get me wrong. We have the rivalry with Norfolk State, but I do want to see what that football program turns into a year or 2 or 3 from now. I'm pretty sure, hopefully, it'll be in a good place. I just know, just the first season, shake off the jitters and things like that, and hopefully he'll be able to get some more recruits. But I'm looking forward to seeing what that looks like next year. But in the meantime, Hampton with the dub. I could say some other shit like behold these, but yeah, big shout out to Hampton. And of course, Sticky Situation and $1 Million Fun Squad battled on the 50-yard line. Shout out to the 2 drum lines. That battle was like dead even. Honestly, it really just depends on who you prefer. But yeah, hopefully people will stop overlooking the Hampton University drumline, better known as Sticky Situation. Stop overlooking us. We back. We here now. We ready. They ready for all the smoke. And they gave $1 million, like they held their own. So big shout out to Sticky for that. All right, well, I think we are done here. I know Steve was talking to somebody, so I just was gonna ask if he had anything else.
I didn't even realize I was not on mute that time.
Oh, damn.
My bad. But yeah, man, no, I'm good. I don't have anything else.
All right. Sounds good. As always, Wake the Dead. You said it's available on Amazon now, right?
Yes, sir. Amazon and Barnes and Nobles.
Oh, ooh, you made it to Barnes and Nobles now. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Now the next thing is to find like a big publisher so we can try to get some real press for it. But yeah, we're on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon now.
For sure. Speaking of which, let me I've always wanted a physical copy. I'm like, let me go ahead and get one of these physical copies of Wake the Dead so I can continue to support.
Yes, sir.
In any case, I don't have any new businesses. There are some ones that I definitely want to interview for this podcast, but we'll get to that day when we get there. In the meantime, this is the perfect opportunity for us to go ahead and do the rundown so we can get up out of here. So once again, shout out to Inside the Mind of a Blur gang. Shout out to Mike Check Waifu. Also, big shout out to Worst Gen and Blanime, aka Anime After Dark. The Truth and Transparency podcast with Brother X, the culture scientist, and Mr. Smith. I really gotta hit them up and see if they're even still going, because if not, then I might have to make a little proposition their way and find out if they are interested in a tag team. But we'll get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Shout out to Dad Needs to Talk with Brought the Father Vash, Geek Set Podcast, Anime Junkies Reason Podcast, Those Anime Girls, The Commute, and Black Geek Energy. Shout out to our Black authors, KYREN and Elena Graham. For our Black content creators, big shout out to Off Black Mag with Aaron. Shout out to Cerberus Entertainment. Shout out to Tatapoodle, the Geechee Gamer. It was actually the Geechee Gamer's birthday the other day. So happy belated birthday, Key. Oh, I almost said your damn government name. Goodness gracious. Happy belated birthday, Q. I'm going to just leave it at that because I don't want to put your government out there. So anyway, yeah. Shout out to the Geechee Gamer. Shout out to Shelby with Simply Janine, Simply Baked and Rose Less Traveled. Big shout out to Strange Keith from Idols to Icons. Big shout out to Toasty Marshmallow. Shout out to the Corner 5 with Simone, Courtney, Fi, Chris, Sham, and of course, big shout out to Scuba Steve and Alpha for Blur Mind Productions. Also, big shout out to Yup, that's the definitely forgot to add her on this list, but definitely shout out to her. And for our Black artists, shout out to NASA, Scoozy, Jack Union, Phil.me, Alice Quinn, Arte Stackhouse, Quarter, Tyrone Leak Jr., Arvilla Show, Zach Hines and Fortresses, Elena, once again, Zaynab, and of course, Imogen. And for our Black business highlights, already paid by Dre, Fresh Nurse Righteous Minds by Timo, KS's Brand by Christina, Cream Cosmetics by Naima, Mind Over Money by Tremaine, Studio Maha with Pat and Yin, She Designs 2 with Aaron, Black Magic / Lil Wans from Lone T, H4 Creative by Zenobia, Real Estate Stone by Meredith, Soul by Bell by Mariah, Good Vibes Only with Nasa, and of course, Scrappy Sentiment with Sappy. And big shout out to Daphne Bedford Smith with Hold On Law. All right, that's it, guys. Be sure that you like, share, subscribe to the Chaotic Culture podcast on your favorite DSB. I am talking too fast. Please be sure that you subscribe to the Patreon for early access to the pod, and of course, to get bonus content as well. Any bonus episodes or anything like that, of course, you will see on the Patreon. You can subscribe at any of the 4 levels again, but as low as $2. Once again, we appreciate your support. You can follow our Facebook page at Chaotic Culture Podcast. You can also follow us on Instagram, Threads, and TikTok at Chaotic Culture Pod. You can follow us on X at Chaotic Culture 1. And of course, you can follow us on Blue Sky at chaoticculture.bsky.social. You can follow me, Ket the Pro. That's K3D the Pro on all social media. You can follow Scuba Steve at Scuba Steve 1428 on all social media. And of course, you can follow all of our other co-hosts on their social medias as well. Law is at L.JR_96 on Instagram and Law96_ on X. You can follow Jaylee Trey on all social media. You can follow Sappy at Scratch14 on all social media. And of course, you can follow Miss Nasa and I'm Nakasa on all social media. And this has been another edition of the Chaotic Culture Podcast. So until next time, folks, remember, embrace the culture, chaos rules, be blessed, be safe, God is love, and we are out of here. Deuces.
So what's the word?
You are now tuned in to the Chaotic Culture Podcast. And